Okay, good morning, sweet peas. My name is Leslie Williams, and I am in San Diego County, San Diego, California. And I'm making this video, excuse me for a second. Taking my morning vitamins. I'm in San Diego, California, and today's date is exactly November 19th, 2013. And as soon as I can find my phone, I will be showing you the date. Hold on. Da-da-da. Yeah. Ba-ba-ba-boo. Ba-ba-ba-boo. Alright, now, hold on one more second. Yeah. Now, the reason why I'm making this video is actually an addendum and with more additional information. Not only concerning the addendum subject matter, but also concerning other statements that are pertinent to the factual realities of the theme of what I have been exposing all over the internet, and possibly even some predictive statements. Oh, hang on. Alright, the phone's booting up right now. And it was either on November 14th or November 15th, a huge, big, gigantic child pornography ring was busted. It was an international ring, and there were several countries involved in it, and the two that 100% stuck out for me were Canada and the United States. These are the addendum statements, because I've already made a video concerning that, but then when I went back and watched it, I realized that I had left a couple employment descriptions that were involved in the perpetration of these criminalities. Alright, let me backtrack. Let me show you today's date, 11/19 at 11/19/2013 at 7:19 a.m. And the reason why I'm making this video is to, well, I've already stated that, sorry, it's just I'm so used to making these statements before my segue that I find myself continuing to make them sometimes. Anyways, alright, let me get to the point. I just woke up. This international child pornography ring was busted, and the point that you can Google it, and over 200 people were arrested, or it was between 167, 169, and 230 something. Hold on. Were arrested, and now the employment descriptions in reference to some of the perpetrators is astonishing. But then again, it's astonishing in the realm that it's not unbelievable at all, because a lot of people that have investigated these types of criminalities, including human trafficking rings, sexual servitude rings, prostitution rings, of adults and children, anybody that's ever investigated these types of criminalities over time, have already had a pretty good general idea of the kind of people that can be involved in these criminalities, because of the simple fact that in order, especially when it comes to child pornography or child or teenage prostitution, and then also we can get into the adult prostitution as well, concerning how they will even target mentally disabled children, teenagers, and adults, even mild physical disabled children, teenagers, and adults, because they're the most vulnerable. I'm learning disabled. My name is Leslie Williams. Now, I'm a human trafficking target. I'm just going to go ahead and throw that out, and I will expand on it further into this video. Getting back to the descriptions of the perpetrators that were busted concerning this child pornography ring, basically the employment descriptions of the perpetrators were teachers, foster care home workers, nurses, doctors, police officers. And just research the articles, because I might be forgetting a couple. And now, organized stalking and gang stalking is the name of a specific crime. There are two names. They're basically just two names that describe the same exact identical crime. They're basically just two names that have been given for the same crime. Okay? So you can research these descriptions online, and when you do, you will discover over time that these expeditions are connected to a bunch of different types. Sorry, I just woke up. Are attached to a bunch of different types of criminal motivations. Now, I've been saying it all along that organized stalking and gang stalking is directly connected to human trafficking, in all of the videos that I have published online since around late October or early November 2011. And in those videos, I have made numerous videos about the types of people that are involved in these expeditions. Okay? Teachers, doctors, nurses, police officers. Remember when those 3 precious women were found in Ohio who had been locked in a home, okay, and raped multiple times, kidnapped, raped, kept as sexual slaves? The person who did that was a bus driver. Now, I've also been talking about how bus drivers are involved in gang stalking and organized stalking. That's right. Now, to give you a good illustration, now let me just backtrack for a second. I am a seasoned, educated, knowledgeable, targeted individual. I have been an open target now since 2001. That's right. I have discovered over time, as a result of experience and educated knowledge, that this criminality has more than likely at least been going on towards me at least since 1980. That's right. And it could be as a direct result of, remember I said at least, because of how either my family was involved in these crimes or influenced to be, or they could possibly even be targets themselves. So, and I want to make this other general statement. Since police officers are involved in these criminalities, and I have no doubt in my mind whatsoever, based on educated knowledge of other targeted individuals' posts and YouTube videos and blogs, and one of the blogs I even got printed out in my backpack right now, that certain San Diego police officers are involved in organized stalking. Make no mistake about it. They will lie up and down the road about it, call me crazy concerning it, even attempt to, maybe at a later date, trying to petition me into county mental health or an area neighborhood hospital psychiatric floor in order to discredit me, because this is literally one of the methods of gang stalking. And the reason why I brought up about how I have educated experience, extensive educated knowledge concerning these criminalities and experience is because I wanted to illustrate to you that there's a manifesto on the internet right now written by a manager of gang stalking. Hold on a second. Now, I have reviewed this manifesto on numerous occasions. I got it printed out in my backpack right now. This manifesto, after reading it, reviewing it on multiple occasions, deconstructing it, I literally can testify to you that there is no doubt in my mind whatsoever, based on the experience, based on things I've witnessed, okay, happening to other targeted individuals in another state, because it's a nationwide syndicate. I'm going to give you the title of the manifesto so you can go to it and observe it, and in the manifesto you will see that it's a nationwide syndicate, and even how targeted individuals are stalked from one state to another, which is actually a federal offense. Interstate stalking is a federal offense. Now, I have enough educated knowledge, experience, things I've witnessed, and the experience and the educated knowledge has come from the extensive research that I have done concerning other targeted individuals' testimony on blogs and YouTube videos, the educated knowledge that has been sent to me by investigative journalists, that's right, on the internet, and information that has been sent to me by other targeted individuals online, and concerning individuals who have decided to investigate these crimes at the doctorate level, because of some of the weaponry that is attached and can be attached to the perpetrators, and that can be perpetrated against targeted individuals from a remote distance. Now, as a result of all this, and dissecting the manifesto, deconstructing it, I have no doubt in my mind whatsoever that this manifesto was written by a manager of gang stalking. Okay? Now, so look at it. Okay, and you will see that it even says that entire police departments have been taken over, doctors, okay, firefighters, individuals that work for Medicare, utility company personnel. That's right. Basically what it is it's organized crime that's in the system. White and blue collar workers who have tentacles out within the community in reference to other white and blue collar workers that work in the community, and there can also be connected to specific individuals who are connected to organized crime in the community. Now, since these power positions have influence, and they're extremely creative in how they use even their employment descriptions to get unsyndicated members that have employment descriptions in the system and within the community, they can basically influence them to do anything based on the prestige of their employment description, lies, deceit, slander, intimidation, bribery, collusion, bartering, anything. Go to YouTube and type in "listen to a stranger." Now, the reason why I decided to make this video is because I'm a good woman, okay? Well, I put it to you this way. In my heart, okay, in the way I think, in the way I live, and the choices I make, and the way I think reflect what type of person that I am based on my moral code, what I believe is right and wrong, and what is healthy and what should be not acceptable in our community. Okay, I'm not a rebel rouser, I'm not a troublemaker, I don't go looking for trouble. I'm aware that I live in a system that was set up long before I was even born. Okay, so it's not like I'm an individual that's out there just trying to fight the system and wanting to change the world, even though I'd like to. Because even adults and teenagers nowadays are realizing how corrupt our system is and how unfair it is. Okay, but let me just give you a fast notation, okay, and maybe if you choose to, you can decide to expand your thoughts on it. What do you think's worst? Okay, this is just a fast statement. What do you think's worst, a criminal or a corrupt criminal cop? What do you think is worse? Because when you look at it at the end of the day, if you got a criminal that's doing things to you and or your property or one of your loved ones or somebody you care about, you should be able to run to a police officer. But if you are a victim of a crime and you run to a police officer or department and can't get no help because they're criminals, little criminals, I'm not just talking about them making choices in order to protect the system from being sued, because we all know that downtown city council members and district attorney's office protect the system, because that's where the tax money comes in at. That funds the neighborhood objectives, it funds salaries for city and county workers. So they, at the end of the day, behind the scenes, they might not ever tell you this to your face, but at the end of the day, these city council members and district attorney's office, they all work in hand, and they protect the money that comes into the tax from the county and the state that comes in from the tax base. You better believe they do, and they'll never admit it to your face at all. They'll even imply you're crazy. Okay, and the point I'm trying to make is this: is that if you're a victim of a crime and you can't run to the police because the police are criminal too, then how can you get any help? Then if you run to the district attorney's office and they completely and totally ignore your phone calls, your emails for help, your physical appearances to their office, and they even in turn might call you crazy. Okay? How can you get any help? Now, let's not stop here. Let's also look at the factual realities that these individuals are so infested in our system and in our community that they can even influence lawyers. Lawyers can even be involved in gang stalking syndicates. So, at the end of the day, where can you get help? Where? You can't even get help from nonprofits, because some of these syndicates are even literally infested at the federal level. Now, I've already mentioned how Medicare workers can be involved in these criminalities. Think about this. If a disabled person who's on Social Security walks into at least 5 separate Social Security offices in 3 separate states, and they're subjected to gaslighting activities that's directly connected to gang stalking by Social Security workers, what does that tell you? That tells you that that targeted individual is being stalked and tracked in real time, and whoever's doing it has a federal position to influence Social Security workers and even security to engage in specific behaviors for that targeted individual to witness in order to anchor in the targeted individual's mind that there is nowhere they can go to for help. It's literally done for that reason. Literally. Now, so when you look at how this is organized crime in the system and how even federal employees can be brought on board in it, who is actually syndicated to this? And how many of them are there? Well, if it's a nationwide syndicate, I would think that it's a lot. Gang stalking is not stalking by gangs, even though they can use criminals to aid and abet in their expeditions. It's organized crime in the system at every level. Now, I've already mentioned briefly about some of the technologies that can be remotely brought about against a targeted individual and or their family members and or their friends, okay, or even any reporter or lawyer that might feel sorry for the target and do something for the target. Now, there are specific technologies that can be brought about against organized stalking, gang stalking targets, and anybody that attempts to help them, and any of the aforementioned, just mentioned individuals that might be in that targeted individual's life, like family members, friends, relatives of, anybody. Okay, so just, I'll just put it to you this way. Some information was forwarded to me over time that you can go to the internet and type in, well, let me just put it to you this way. Go to Google and type in technologies brought against organized gang stalking targets and extensively research it. Just do it. And you'll see that I'm telling you the truth. So, and where did those technologies come from? Was it the military? Go to Google and type in the military and gang stalking, and how even military members can be involved in these expeditions. Gang stalking and organized stalking is nothing but organized crime in the system at every level, and it's nothing but a template of tiered protocols, methods, tactics, maneuvers, and schemes that they bring about against any targeted individual, including how it can also be brought about against their family members, friends, associates, and they also have the power positions to blacklist any targeted individual from employment, or anybody that's trying to assist them from employment. That's right. That's right. Now, if you can see how vulnerable then a target is, if they can't get no help while they're a victim of this crime, have been, still are, and will be, because they're isolated in them deliberately, go to Google and type in organized stalking or gang stalking, and how they create isolation of a target, how they create homelessness of a target by getting landlords and property owners on board, how they can get postal employees on board, mail theft and mail delayment, i.e. rent. Okay? Then you can easily see how every single aspect of a targeted individual's life is completely destroyed, how they're kept isolated in these effects of the criminality that is covertly managed and overtly executed, and sometimes directly executed, all the while trying to make it appear that everything that's happening to a targeted individual is happening because of normal appearing reasons, normal appearing excuses, normal appearing mishaps, because it's covertly managed and then cleverly brought about through maneuvers, methods, and tactics. It's basically a protocol of schemes. So, how can we get any help? The only thing right now that we appear to be able to do freely, while we are still free, because they literally set us up to be institutionalized, jailed, murdered. That's right, put in group homes. Okay? Can you imagine being tortured, even raped, assaulted numerous times, having every single aspect, including how they go after your credit? I emailed the Department of Education and sent them an information packet that was that thick. And each piece of paper that was part of the stacks of paper that were sent to them had numerous, all over the pieces of paper, had numerous links, okay, and information of evidence that was undisputable, black and white, in your face, in your lap, undisputable. Literally could not be questioned in any way, shape, or form that I am a gang stalking target and have been for years, including how I was even being gang stalked at my school by teachers in another state, and how I'm being gang stalked in San Diego at USD, SDSU, and UCSD. That's right. Undisputable evidence. That's right. I told them in this contact, okay, concerning what was mailed to them by certified mail and return receipt, and concerning the emails that were sent to them, okay, undisputable evidence that these criminalities were occurring towards me at Henry Ford Community College in Dearborn, Michigan, U of M in Dearborn, Michigan, U of M in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and several universities in San Diego. Several, including California State San Marcos University, California State San Marcos University. I also told them that I was coerced into taking out the school loans by individuals who I discovered later had infiltrated my life through respectable environments, churches, Google that, to gang stalking, and influenced me to take out loans, student loans. And they did that for, well, let me just put it to you this way, is debt bondage one of the sections of how they can get human trafficking targets sucked into prostitution? Debt bondage. And if you don't pay off student loans, you go to prison. Go to Google and type in how gang stalking is happening in jails. Again, I've stated it's organized crime in the system at every single level, including the Department of Corrections. members can be influenced to engage in gang stalking, and you would not believe how they can get fellow inmates to engage in specific behaviors. They can literally even get, since doctors and nurses are involved in these expeditions, they can literally get individuals that are on the psychiatric floor once they petition you into the hospital or corrupt county or county mental health to engage in gang stalking towards a targeted individual, even while they're on the psychiatric floor. That's right. So, when you ask yourself, why won't they investigate how I was gang stalked at my own school, how I was gang stalked at U of M, undisputable proof, how I was gang stalked at all these universities in San Diego, and how did they know I came back here in San Diego on August 8, 2011? How? How? If they were sent undisputable proof that was that thick in reference to the amount of papers, separate papers that were sent to them, and each paper had long, separate cooperating, separate attached, pasted information of evidence. Hundreds of links, okay, that literally shows in-your-face evidence that I'm being gang stalked, and in-your-face evidence of 2006 emails concerning me making statements about how I was being gang stalked at my school by teachers and security staff. Why won't they investigate it at all, in any way? Why? Department of Education is federal. Why? And will my Social Security be taken away from me? And if it is, how will I be able to pay off the school loans? Is this organized crime in the system? I'm in San Diego, California. My name is Leslie Williams. You know, all I can do is expose the factual realities of what I know. Now, in closing, I'm going to make this statement. For the last year and a half, ever since I learned how to upload videos to the internet, I have been making statements in hundreds of my videos that this is about, in part, about human trafficking. I've been mentioning the employment descriptions attached to it. Doctors, nurses, police officers, firefighters. And guess who else was mentioned in this in reference to the type of employment description that was mentioned in the news article that covered the child pornography ring being busted? Pastors of churches. I've been saying it all over the internet that church members can be involved in gang stalking, and I literally hit the people that infiltrated my life, that I later, the ones that literally solicited me to take out these school loans, were directly connected to people that another set of people that had infiltrated my life who were church elders. That's right, who taught at church. Also, the Catholic Church is involved in the gang stalking of me concerning the Archdiocese of Detroit from Michigan. That's right. I never lived in Detroit except for when I was a kid. Okay, but he owned property in Dearborn, Michigan, and in Dearborn Heights, Michigan, where I was gang stalked at. That's right. And one of them was right on U of M campus, the Richard Gabriel Center. You would not believe in how they engaged in the gang stalking of me. And I was influenced to go there from a campus safety secretary on Henry Ford Community College campus when I visited their office to get help concerning being gang stalked at HFCC by a teacher and other students. So these individuals are in the system, protected by the system, okay, at every level, and so how can we get help? I've been saying all along that teachers were involved in the gang stalking of me, that churches were involved in it. I had church members being directly involved in the gang stalking of me in Connecticut, which is the state I went to from Michigan before I came to California on August 8, 2011. So, when we look at the employment descriptions that are described in this concern, the perpetrators busted from this child pornography ring: pastors, teachers, police officers, doctors, nurses. The same exact to a literal T concerning the employment descriptions that I've been describing for the last year and a half. I'm in San Diego, California. My name is Leslie Williams. I make these videos to inform, to expose the truth. And the truth is what matters. Doctors are mentioned in the Gang Stalking Tech Everything You Need to Know manifesto. They're called the money bags, because that's where they make money off the insurance fraud, the racketeering, that's right, and the deliberate and intentional criminal false diagnoses of a target in order to discredit the target. Because taking legal custody of a target after they completely destroy every aspect of their life, including making them homeless, is how they take the syndicated probate control so they can co-opt the target's finances, exploit their insurance, and exploit a target sexually by putting them in a syndicated run group home. I've been exposing that for the last year and a half, along with foster care homes, and some of the children of this child pornography ring were taken from foster care homes. I'm in San Diego, California. My name is Leslie Williams. So, when you look at what I state, okay, in reference to how they use debt bondage, student loans, if I don't cooperate in prostitution down the road that's cleverly brought to my attention once I get taken off of Social Security. And let me backtrack for a second. I mentioned just now how they will try to take syndicated probate control of a target's finances by taking syndicate probate control of them, okay? Like co-opting their Social Security as a result of the syndicated probate control. They can take me off Social Security, wait until the schemes bring about the documentation, like the police reports and the doctor reports, to get syndicated probate control, and then reapply for it in my name. Where they're literally treating people like straw people for racketeering purposes, and to put them in isolated group homes for racketeering purposes, insurance fraud, which is also racketeering, and for human trafficking in an isolated environment they're trapped in. They're literally trapped in and kept in. If you don't believe they're not already isolating targets who have not yet reached this part of the expedition, why are they intercepting our emails for help, rerouting our phone calls for help, rerouting our emails for help? Why are they influencing lawyers and law firms to not take our cases? Why are lawyers already involved in gang stalking? We're being tortured, and every single aspect of our lives are completely destroyed for these criminal motivations and how we're kept in them. I'm in San Diego, California. My name is Leslie Williams. I will be banned from UCSD, and they will find a they will find a normal appearing excuse to do it. They'll get somebody to say that campus safety will say that somebody or any other staff that's got a power position to either call campus safety or ban me will say that somebody made a complaint about me, somebody accused me of something, or I stole something. All of it will be total, complete, bold-faced lies because I'm exposing them. And they know I am, because cyber surveillance is the method of these crimes. Alright, I gotta go. I showed you my cell phone, which showed you the date and time that I made this video. So it's a prediction as well. Okay? I do what I do. I do what I do for the real safety of our community. So you can research what I state, deconstruct it, synthesize the information that you derive from the research, and so you can know what's literally going on right underneath your nose. And this also includes me being banned from any business off of Villa La Jolla Plaza Drive. I'm gang-stalked at that Rouse like you would not believe. Like you would not believe. Also in the Island Restaurant. And they will do anything and everything. Go to Google and type in organized stalking or gang stalking in businesses. Then go to Google and type in organized stalking or gang stalking and security guards. Just do it. And you will see, because the individual that's got the power position in the community influences business. When gang stalking happens against a fellow employee, it's called work mobbing. Google that. So, again, go to YouTube and type in "listen to a stranger." I gotta go. Okay, that gives you a preliminary introduction in reference to how easy it is to get anybody to do anything for an individual who's got a power position in the community. Okay, now in closing, I'm hiking in California, okay, and go to Google and see how they create homelessness of targets. Now, this is the 4th hiking area I've been gang-stalked to. The 4th. Go to YouTube and type in gang-stalking bullying on steroids to see that targeted individual flat out. They literally show him being gang-stalked at his own home and along all of his routes. Okay, I gotta close this video up. Do the research in reference to my statements in this video, and the only thing I pray for is that the only thing I hope for is that you say a prayer for me. Okay, thank you, and have a nice day.